All right, Shalom. First off, I want to start off by saying all praises, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakal Kadash, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai. Also, that's all praise to who the world calls God and Jesus Christ. The true names in Hebrew is Yahweh for the Heavenly Father and Yahweh Shai for His beloved Son. I also want to say double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone and peace and mercy to the hopeful elect, preaching sword in truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Tazabah in the Great Millstone, Arizona camp. Lord well with another video to edify, and this is going to be a response to the video that the elder in South Carolina made. And basically, in his dream, he dreamt of being in a concentration camp, basically, and he knew he was there for preaching the word. And other men that were there, he asked them, because he perceived that they were all men that understood they were Israelites. He asked them, what's the mark of the beast? And they all denied the fact that it is the RFID microchip, showing that they were trying to convince themselves, basically. And I had a dream of a similar circumstance, you know. And this is about two months ago or so. I told three brothers in the camp that I'm in the GMS Phoenix camp, you know. And basically in my dream, we were all it was like, how do I say it? It was like if you go to a court, you know, you got a ticket, you go to a court, how they check you in, how they have the arc, the security arc with the x-ray and everything. And it was like a bunch of us on one side, and it was like I knew one Jake. I knew out of all the people, one Jake that was there, and it was like I was real familiar with him. I couldn't make out his face though. And basically everybody started getting scanned, but it was like the Lord allowed me and this brother that was with me to see these people's spirits. So out of nowhere I'll be looking at them, and out of nowhere I'd be looking at them, like directly looking at these people, and I would see, you know, like the scriptures say, it says we are when the Lord talks about putting our candle out, the spirit is a little spark. That's basically what I saw. I saw their spirits, but as fire. And it would go from me seeing them as a regular person to out of nowhere, it's like a detailed silhouette where you can still partially make out details of their face, but you would see what their flame was like. And for a lot of the people in the room's flame, it was real weak. And it was like I saw a mirror right by me, and I looked at my reflection, and I saw my flame was extremely bright. It was burning intensely, you know. And the other man that I understood, that I knew in the dream, his flame was nice too. But everybody else's in the room's flames were weak, dull. You know, everybody else was all like anxious as shit. But me and this brother we were pretty calm. And basically these dudes dressed up in these military type suits came in, and they started scanning people. So they brought them to the little you know, x-ray type thing when you go into like a court or you go to an airport, where they walk through that arch. And before they got there, they looked at their head, and it's like the Lord allowed me to see their spirit again. And it was like these people's flames were non-existent. You know? It was like their flame was damn near out. To where when they did the little, it was like it was a quick slow down, look, speed up, and those people got passed through the door. And all those people that got passed through the door, their biggest consolation was they were going to be able to eat. You know, that was their biggest consolation. And that's what everybody was worried about, was being able to eat. And I could tell that on the other side, where me and this other brother were, we were catching hell. And life wasn't peachy. Life wasn't peachy, but in my spirit, I was calm. You know, and Lord will, I had that same spirit, man. And so all these people are getting checked. The dude's putting a scanner to their head, a scanner to their hand, and people are getting passed through the door, and they come and scan me and him, and they basically say push me back. And when it's the dude that I'm familiar with, time to go through too, to get scanned, he ends up getting pushed back too, and the scanners do a huge like noise where it's like rejecting us. But it was like I understood what was going on the other side and what they had to do to get there. So basically, the guy I was with, it's cold because now that I think about it, after watching that elder's video, it's because the Lord set us up to be leaders in this thing, you know, and a leader has to, just like when John Maccabees, just like the Maccabees brothers, man, when he was coming up, right, he had to encourage the men to go on and fight, and that's basically what happened in the dream, because the dude that I was familiar with, it was like he had a weak moment, and he started freaking out. He was like, man, what the fuck? He was getting mad. He was like, what the fuck? What do you mean I can't go? What do you mean? And he started freaking out, and I said, hey, man. I grabbed him by the shoulder. I said, hey, man, we knew this was going to happen. We knew this was going to happen. Calm down. And I told him the Lord got us. And then right after that is when I woke up. You know? So I strongly believe that dream was showing those concentration camps and how they're going to make a separation, man. So I got a few precepts, and Lord will, this is edifying. This is Joel 2 and 28. You know what? I'm gonna start at Acts chapter 2, because for all you people that out there that think that the Lord did away with the Old Testament, what would be your response to this? This is Acts chapter 2 verse 17, and it shall come to pass in the last days. You know what? I'll start at 16. But this is that which was spoken by the prophet Joel. Now, is it Joel in the Old Testament or in the New Testament? It says, and it shall come to pass in the last days, say the Most High, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams. You see? And I believe that was a dream of possibly what can happen, man. That's a dream of possibly my walk or other men's walk. It says, verse 18, and it says, on my servants and upon my handmaids will I pour out my spirit, will I pour out in those days of my spirit, and they shall prophesy, and they shall show wonders in the heaven above and signs in the earth beneath, blood, fire, and vapor and smoke. So this is what the Lord allowed me to see, was a little bit of what may come. Now peep this. This is the Joel reference, Joel 2 and 28. It says, and it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your old men shall dream dreams, and your young men shall see visions. You see? So the Lord is showing us things in these days, man. I believe that brothers should what I do every time I have a dream, and the coldest part is, it doesn't happen all the time, but it's the Lord will put me in the spirit of reciting the dream. Like that dream was so hot and heavy that I woke up and I was partially angry at the dude that was with me, that he started freaking out. You know, because I understood the state of the things that were happening, and the fact that the state of the things that were happening in the dream were spoken of the scriptures. And we're supposed to be studied men in these things. We're supposed to understand these things, because the scriptures tell you that we have a more sure word of prophecy. It's prophesied that those things would happen. So I kind of woke up kind of angry, that the man that was in the dream with me kind of got like that, but it was so heavy that I felt the seriousness still when I woke up. You know, so these dreams and these visions are happening. I believe brothers should, especially in this time now, saying that we can see that we're super close to the end. Too many prophecies are popping up too close together. The birth pains, as it is stated in the scriptures, are happening. I think brothers should really take the time to, when those things happen, to recite the dream back to themselves several times before they even try to go back to sleep. You know, so that they can get it down, man. So they can remember this thing, so they can bring it to other brothers, man. But what I saw in that dream was spoken of in the scriptures, Revelation 2. And I started 10. It says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. And that's really what it was, man. Because when we looked at that room, it was crazy, man, because, and I never been in jail or anything like that, but I know it from movies, man. It legit looked like a jail cell, a very large jail cell. There was a bunch of us packed up in there with the X-ray thing that they use at airports and shit like that. And a man in a fully armored, had a huge gun with them, had a scanner in his head, and he would place it to their head, and it either would beep green and they can go on, or it would flash red and make a rejection noise, and it would stop, and you'd have to get pushed back, and this is really what it was, man. It was like a prison. And it says, for none of those things which thou shalt suffer, behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. And that's really what it came down to, you know. And just like brothers in this truth, we understand that hey, the Lord's plan is going to be the Lord's plan at the end of the day. But in that moment, I still felt a sense of responsibility for that man that was on the other side with me. And I felt like I was had a duty to have that brother and remind that brother of the scriptures to stand fast, that he could receive his crown, man. But at the end of the day, when that stuff happened, you know, I knew that you have to be real about it, man. You have to stay truthful to the scriptures, man. This is John 14. You know what? I'll get the Luke 21 first. Luke 21 and 12. Probably start at 10. It says, I'll start at 10. It says, then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilences, and fearful sights, and in great signs. It says, in great signs shall there be from heaven. And all these things are already happening, man. Nation rises against nation. You had food supplies burned up all over the world. The Beirut explosion actually hit a food supply. The fire in China that happened on the same day. Like there was like several fires, and they all ended up hitting food supplies. You know, so that's famine, pestilence. These are earthquakes. These are tactical strikes that these nations might be pulling on each other. Esau himself, the so-called white man, could be doing all these things, man. Which is more than likely the truth. You know? And so it says, verse 12, it says, but before all these, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. And that's what something happened, man. This is what happened to Yahushua himself. It said the servant is not greater than his master. So we being servants of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, you know, we'll suffer these things too. You know, it might not be the same for every brother's walk, but if it's just part of your walk, man, the Lord is going to build you up enough to endure those things. That's why I said, take you no thought what you shall say, for the Spirit shall give you what you shall say in that time. You know? So this is John 14. I'll end it on this. John 14. And 1. It says, let not your hearts be troubled. Ye believe in the Most High. Believe also in me. So when this stuff comes about, we're not supposed to be troubled as these other people, man. You know, we believe in the Lord, man. We know the one who wrote the script. The one that got the power, the juice that gave these people the ability to put us in these holds, in these binds. It says, verse 2, in my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you so. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go to prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there you may be also. So the Lord ain't gonna leave us in no destitute spot, man. Even when shit gets tough, we have to believe these things, man. This is the confidence that we have in the scriptures, man. So Lord willing, this is edifying. I want to say, call halal, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakakadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and mercy to hopeful elect. Shalom.